Holy moly. Hi, everybody. How did you like that premiere? I know I didn't pull any cards in it, but holy moly. I can't believe what my accuracy was on JLo. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of hers, but it was pretty amazing. So first thing I want to do, we always do this. I want to thank the mods for being here. So let's do a nice round of applause for them. Mods on this channel have a little bit of a tricky job. I know it's not an easy job, but I appreciate you. I hope you guys also appreciate that they are keeping the chat nice and clean. So give me a little bit of feedback, guys. What do you think? What do you think of this grading process that I'm doing? It's pretty wild. I got my friend Rob Fusesi in the house. If one of the mods can drop his link, that would be great. Rob's got an amazing channel. I don't know if there's any other channels in here right now. Rob is one of my mods. He knows where the bodies are buried. He has seen me grow up from 11 years old to the ripe old age of almost 55. Almost 55. So getting up there. Texas Kit Kat, how are you? Good to see you here. I actually not only got great feedback on this, but yesterday I talked to 2 private clients, got great feedback. I predicted the exact amount one of my clients got as a bonus or a raise. So that was pretty interesting. I predicted that a few months ago. And I predicted a medical thing. I actually did a medical remote view on one of my clients and got some unexpected accuracy on that. So it kind of changed the way they are proceeding with their medical recovery. We've got somebody from Saudi Arabia. It is wonderful to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are having an excellent day. So this is what we're going to do, kids. This is my new format. I don't know if I'm going to do it every day, but I do know that I'm going to try and do it every day this week. I'm going to do a short in the morning, let you know what's coming up for the day. And then we are going to do a premiere where I will be in the chat with y'all. And then we're going to go right into a live for additional questions about the premiere. So I'm going to try and stick with, top news. And we're going to be doing the reviews of my predictions from 2025. So that, that's something that I don't see a lot of psychics doing. I don't see a lot of psychics grading their predictions with AI. I'm going to recommend it because it's pretty cool. I have no problem saying what I got wrong. This one, AI was like anything, there was only like one thing that they just didn't have any data on. So if you weren't in the premiere, I got an 85% accuracy on my JLo predictions for 2025. So, the divorce was already happening. Hi, Dave Murphy. Divorce was already happening. So we had that there. But what we're going to do is I'm going to do the 2026 spread. We're going to do predictions for her for 2026. I've got the same pulp tarot that I used the last time. Ronald, you're very welcome for the cleavage shot. So Ronald is happy about the cleavage shot. I'm not doing it on purpose. These gals, there's no kill switch on awesome. So it's totally fine. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not doing it on purpose. I am too accurate. That means that Star has to go to the mountains to meet her man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, little witchy one. Everybody's filing in. We got 21 people in the chat. So after I do the 2026 spread, I'm going to take your question live. Anything about JLo's career, life, health, money, public energy, all of that. So we will be doing that. I'll be taking questions from you guys, and I'm going to schedule a session for you all to ask questions. It'll be my regular membership into general audience. So I think I'm going to do it on Saturday. So we will see. We'll lean real heavy into Hypsee for that. That being said, I want to let you guys know Hypsee is working out amazing for me. I am really, really stoked about this app. It's working great. So like I said, if you want your regular readings, you can still book with me on Calendly, but you can also go through Hypsee. I'm doing great over there. So I'm very, very pleased with the results that I'm getting. So now we are going to kick it off. We are going to jump in to our reading. So this is for J-Lo. I'm going to bring up the card view. We're going to make it nice and big so y'all can see it real well. There we go. Nice and big. Swap-a-rooney. And we are off to the races, guys. You ready? Are you ready? I don't want to say that because one of the reasons I say it is because of the corn song. Are you ready? But my girl Maureen Callahan says it. I don't want to steal her tagline. She's like, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. And I don't want to steal that from her. So let's set the energy for J-Lo's year. Again, I'm using the Pulp Tarot. I will drop this deck into the description. And emotional tone for J-Lo coming out of 2025. Let's see what we're getting. Strength in reverse. She's getting those itches, babies. She's getting those itches. The strength card is really about managing your basest instincts. The things that drive us are uncontrollable urges. So she's coming out. She is coming out. Let's see. And the Fool in reverse. I think there maybe somebody out there that is putting the moves on the J-Lo, and I think she's a little bit keen on it. So we are gonna jump into that. So 2025 was a year of cleanup for her, heartbreak, financial restructuring, and learning to be on her own. This looks like she is going to have a little bit of a hot girl January. I don't know. Let's see if we're going to get reinvention, emotional stabilization, and how she rebuilds her entity. So this looks a little reckless to me, guys. That if that's a theme, it looks a little bit reckless. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat while I'm doing this, guys. All right, so that was our theme. A little bit of recklessness, not really towing the line. I think she's going to cut loose a little bit. Dave Murphy, absolutely, Kat, I would love to do a past life regression with you, but I am going to schedule a group remote view for the John Benet Ramsey murder. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be off YouTube. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a private event. But there's been a lot of talk about that. So amongst my people. So remote view, I'll keep the price really low, but it'll be really fun. We'll go and be psychic investigators in that. So Dave, thanks for giving me a little tickle on that one. So we're going to look at, whoops, sorry guys. Let's see. We're going to break down the quarters just like we did the last time. Things we're going to cover: her career, emotional tone, personal identity, partnerships, and her spiritual growth, which is so important. We're going to do quarter by quarter. This is just like the 2025. Let's look at Q1, quarter one, which is going to be January, February, March. Is she stabilizing emotionally? Magician. Yeah, I think she is. Work is really the rudder for J-Lo. Her work is really what anchors her and keeps her fueled. And I think it's a big problem in her relationships because some people are just not as ambitious as others. And so I think that Ben Affleck was looking for more of a background artist role, going into production and writing, those kinds of things. I don't think he wants to be the big splashy celebrity. Some people want to be a big splashy celebrity when they're in their 20s, their 30s. They want to catch fire and get out there. And I think at this point, Ben is leaning into those East Coast, Massachusetts roots, where he wants to be in a jewel-toned library with leather-bound books and furniture that smells of rich mahogany. I think he really wants to dial his life back just a little bit and kind of recede into the background. Whereas J-Lo, I think, will always be a celebrity. She will always be out there. When she is 70 years old, she's always going to be out there presenting and being a star. Whereas I think Ben Affleck wanted to kind of dip into the background. So new career and projects. The Hermit. There's not a lot of great ideas out there. I think she is turning down more projects, especially now in the wake of the lack of excitement about the Kiss of the Spider Woman. So I think she is really having some trouble. I think that there were a few more remake suggestions to her, and I think she's really trying to not do that. I think she doesn't want to do remakes, and that's something that we're seeing in Hollywood right now. There's a lot of remake stuff going on, and do we really need? I mean, the one that really got me was Clash of the Titans. How dare you remake the Harry Hamlin fabulous movie? Harry Hamlin was smoking hot in that. We had Maggie Smith. Who else was in it? Laurence Olivier. I mean, it was like a fabulous cast. I think she wants to stay away from the remakes. I think she really wants a good storyline. J-Lo, I have a great book that I wrote. It's called The Luckies. You should take a look at it. It's all about the 80s. So let's see if there's going to be any career shifts for her. There's all this talk about the Vegas residency, career shifts, any shift in the career. Death in reverse. She does not want to evolve here. There is a pressing of pause on evolve. Why? What did somebody say to her? 10 of Swords. There are people that are trying to warn her about not going the Madonna route. This is what we're going to see in Q1. People are going to be telling her, don't go the Madonna route. Don't be splashy and out there and overtly sexy as you get older. I think people are warning her about that. I don't think that she's going to like it very much. What should she do in that circumstance? What should she do in that circumstance? What should she do? What should she do in the circumstance that someone says, don't be so overtly sexual? 7 of Cups, give them some options. Give them some options. Do some different things. 2 of Wands, a little of this, a little of that. So, I do think that she needs to cultivate a sophisticated version of herself too. And I think with any of the brand deals that she has, that's an easy fix. That's a very, very easy fix for her. But the pole dancing, she did some pole dancing at one of those Super Bowls. And I was like, oh dear, somebody's going to break a hip. I'm not pole dancing at my age. And J-Lo is just like, I think a year older than me. I think she's maybe a year older than me. Probably shouldn't be pole dancing. But I do think that there are management people that are going to be telling her to kind of change the focus of her professional persona. And I think she's going to be very resistant. Should she be resistant to that idea? Should she be? The Lovers in reverse. No, she's still got some time in her. 3 of Cups. She's still got accelerated time. Knight of Pentacles. To move off that branding, that sex pot, she really is, super, hot Latina. To move off that branding now, I think is a mistake. I think she looks good, she feels good, she should keep going with it. So the suggestion of making a change to that kind of branding, I think, is a little bit short-sighted. I think they're really trying to do too much. I think she's going to be advised to do too much of a radical change to herself. And it's not going to be in alignment. Crazy Mermaid, I agree. She's not as sexy as she thinks. She's not as young as she thinks. But you know what? She does look really good. She does look really good. I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I'm not running around in a bikini. I'm not doing that yet. But I have lost over 30 pounds. So maybe it's going to be a bikini summer. Who knows? Let's see what's happening. So see if there's going to be any residual divorce fallout in the first quarter of the year. What can we see? Divorce fallout. Queen of Cups. That I think is great because that says that she is getting control over the emotions. Queen of Pentacles. The money fuels her. Nine of Cups. I do think that she's going to feel like I'm just unlucky in love. Yeah, I am just unlucky in love. And that I think is something that consultation with the Hierophant. Hierophant, seats of power. This always represents seats of power. And I think that this particular seat of power is going to be therapy and getting herself together. It looks like we are regaining some equilibrium with our emotions here in the first quarter. Seeing some of the ducats coming in, getting attention from her fandom, getting support from her fandom, I think it's good. But I do think that she's going to say, I'm not dating anymore because I'm just unlucky in love. I'm just, she did say in an interview that the people that she has been with have not loved her the right way. They just are not capable of loving her. And I think that perhaps she's a tough match. Unfortunately, she's a really tough match. She's like a Britney Spears or a Taylor Swift. Like, it's really hard to find a partner that is going to match that energy, that earning capability. I mean, I don't even know if Ben Affleck did it. Like J-Lo would need to be with somebody like a Michael Jackson or a Freddie Mercury. I know Freddie Mercury gay, but she would need to be with someone who is that level of performer. I don't think Mark Anthony hit that level of performance with her. I don't think that they matched up professionally quite exactly. So what about her family? She's really leaning into the kids right now. Dave Murphy, no bikini for you. I totally get that. Greg does have a Speedo. Greg has a Speedo. It's an American Speedo. But how is she going to be doing with her family? Death in reverse. I think her kids are getting a bit older. Tower in reverse. And I think Nine of Pentacles. Things are great there, but I think she is dealing with all those moving parts that you get when your kids start to get older and they are going to college or going off to their own endeavors. I think she's kind of dealing with those moving parts. She is pleased with what's happening. She's not sad about it, but there's adjustments that you have to make. I've got one that's away at college. Next year, I'm going to have another one that's away at college. So this time we'll be gathering all those ducklings, getting them home. And it's a very different energy. It's going to be very weird when Greg and I'm not going to say that we're empty nesters because no one's moved out, but I think there's a very different energy when some of your people are missing from the house, when they're not around on a daily basis. I know it's very different with my daughter not being here, and I'm very excited that she'll be home in 5 days. We're gonna have her home in 5 days, so and I'll get to have her for a whole month. And she did land a part in the spring performance of. She's probably going to be studying her script the whole time. So exciting stuff. But I think J-Lo is adjusting well to the changes in her family. I don't think co-parenting has ever been an issue with Mark Anthony. I think that, When they're with him, they're with him. When they're with her, they're with her. I think that's easy enough. Easy enough. Easy enough. So, are we going to see her open up romantically in Q1? Are we going to see that? Are we going to see any opening up romantically? Page of Wands. I do think she's going to have some itches that she needs to scratch. So, Seven of Wands. I don't think she's going to open the door for relationships. I think perhaps she may scratch a few itches. That's okay. But I don't think that she's going to be willing to let someone be in her life. It's a tough order. It is a tough order for a partner for her. Very, very tall order. Let's skip it on over. Well, we'll do best advice for her. Best advice for her is what? Oh, wait. So yeah, Samantha, 9 of Cups is actually the wish card. 10 of Cups is happy family, but you were close. You were close. So best advice for her, J-Lo, what can you do to have a great first quarter? Keep working. Keep working, and if somebody wants to show you their wand, don't say no. Don't say no. Jump in, have a good time, have some fun with it. You can hit it and quit it and then go your separate ways. You can do that. That's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. Queen of Pentacles. Money is your master for the first quarter. Just stick with that. Keep making the money. And 8 of Pentacles, that's the work card. We got that same one last year when we did predictions. So that is it. So I'm going to say, if somebody gives you a booty call, answer the call. Have some fun with it. But don't get stuck with it. Make them go home. No sleepovers. No sleepovers. No sleepovers. I think that's safe. So let's check out Q2. April, May, June. What do we got? Professional opportunities. What do we got here? 10 of Pentacles. There's going to be lots of opportunities in the second quarter of the year for her to make some money. What's going to be coming her way? Artistic projects. Knight of Cups. We are going to see a romantic movie emerge. I don't think it's going to be a remake, guys. I think it's going to be a new romantic story. It is going to be a very sweet story. It's going to show her as a more vulnerable person. 6 of Cups, a sweeter person. And it's not going to show her as the tough Latina that she is, that pulled herself up by her bootstraps, got on in Living Color, and then forged ahead and made a acting, dancing, singing career. It's not going to be that J-Lo. It's going to be someone who is much, much softer. So I think J-Lo is 55, Samantha. I think she's 55. So that's what we're looking at. How's that money flow going to be? 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Let's see. 4 of Cups. King of Swords. Devil in reverse. Hierophant. I think she's actually going to do the production on this. She's going to get a script. And she is going to produce that script. That's where this sweet movie's coming from. Is she writing it? No, she's not writing it. But she's definitely going to be encountering a very interesting role. How successful is that going to be? Ace of Swords. 6 of Swords. Going to take her. Page of Wands. It's not going to be her wheelhouse, but I think this is going to be a really good movie. Whoop. Upside down cards. Oscar worthy? Let's pull one card. Is it Oscar worthy? Queen of Swords. I think she's going to staff it with people that are going to be Oscar worthy. I'll put a pin in that, guys, because that's going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to know about that until the following year, but she'll be working on it. How's her emotional status for Q2? Emotional status for Q2. Knight of Pentacles. She's not investing in anybody. She's closing the door. Closing the door. She's outside of love for Q2. I think that's fine. That's fine. Booty calls are going to be good. Booty calls are going to be a good thing. Scratch that itch. Crack that whip. All right. So what does she need to focus on? One card. It's Page of Pentacles, projects, work, Page of Pentacles. Remember, Pentacles are work. It's what we do. It's what we do. Let's look at the hot girl summer. Is it going to be a hot girl summer? July, August, September. This is Q3. Emotional breakthroughs or breakdowns. What is she going to be doing? Healing up. Healing up. Three of Swords in reverse is healing up from the things that have happened to us. So, did we get a partner? Nope, no partners. No partners. Justice. She's going to be very visible over the summer, guys, and she's going to look great. I'm telling you right now, she's going to look fantastic. Four of Wands. Summer is going to be travel all over the place. She is going to be popping up in the tabloids everywhere. Empress, we're going to see her with the kids. She's going to be focused on the kids. So this hot girl summer, it's probably going to be the kids. Maybe if they have, people that they're dating or not spouse. I don't want to say spouses are pretty young, but I think we're going to see her out and about with the kids a lot. It's going to be family time. And I do think that perhaps we see some of Ben's kids, like maybe that blended family has a little bit of longevity. I think maybe they're sticking together. How is her reputation, public image going to be over the summer? Temperance, people are going to judge her. They're going to judge her for what's going on. If we do see the Affleck kids go on vacation or meet up with her at some point, like at a resort or something, there's going to be some rumors. It's definitely a prediction. There's going to be some rumors that her and Ben are like still working it out. Third time's a charm. People are going to be saying that. It's not going to be accurate. They're going to move on their own ways. But there's not much we can do with blended families if the kids become really close. You don't want to say, well, that's the enemy camp. You can't be friends with them. So I think she's going to be pretty generous about it. Celebrity kids, unfortunately, have a very select friend group that they can be involved with. You'll see there's a lot of hangers on that want to get in with celebrity kids because they get to have fun with them. They get to go on vacations with them. So they have to be really careful about who they hang out with. And again, it's a microculture being a celebrity kid, being a nepo baby. I hate to say nepo baby, but it's a microculture that you have to be really careful because there are other people that will come in, tell stories about you, sell stories about you to the tabloids, those kinds of things. I think that was a circumstance that happened with Paris Hilton and her tape that went out that led to further celebrity for her. Or infamy, so to speak. So hang on, Star. Hang on to that question. Hang on. I'm going to put a pin in that. So we'll ask that at the end. You guys, you can ask questions. I'm going to address them all at the end of this video. So I think, she will possibly meet up with Ben's kids, let the kids all hang out together, foot the bill for it. I'm going to say that. I'm putting that out there. But I think ultimately it may be like the last kind of time they all hang out together. So that may be fading a little bit. So any potential love interests? No, that Five of Cups keeps coming out. What about big personal decisions? Is she going to make any big personal decisions over the summer? No, she's just going to revel in family life and enjoying things. So let's take a look at Q4. So how is her holiday energy going to be different from this holiday? And remember what I said. Don't stay at home and stare at the tree. Get out. Go do things, J-Lo. That's for 2025. What do we got for holiday energy 2026? The High Priestess. Ace of Cups. I think next year she may be a little bit sad about not having a lot around her. I think the Queen of Swords, she'll be in administrative mode and we're going to see it. So I am going to predict for 2026, possibly hosting a New Year's Eve kind of event. Whether that's public or private, we'll have to see. But I think that she's going to put all of her energy not into Christmas gift giving, but into partying and kind of re-entering. It's almost like she's going to do a debut for herself. And I do think that she's going to do a New Year gala at home. It's going to be some kind of a gala event. And it'll be like a debut. You know, young gals here in the US is a very old fashioned thing. And abroad, they do it abroad too. They will do a debut that presents young women as eligible for marriage, that kind of thing. So I think that next year we will see her do kind of a entry into the social world. So reinvention of herself socially is on the table for 2026. What about professionally? Ooh, she's going to separate from someone in her. All right, I'm going to do a prediction. Another prediction, guys. I think she's going to find out that one of her management team is not making her as much money as they should be, and possibly is putting a little in their pocket. So I think she's going to part ways with either management or an agent or something like that. That is a prediction for 2026, the final quarter. I think that is something that, and you know, the change of her attitude toward emotional attachments with partners is going to translate to her business people. So the business people that she says, you're like family, you know, we've always worked together. We've always had a great thing together. I think she is going to part ways with a couple of individuals. I definitely one, possibly two. There may be somebody who didn't catch the folly that was going on. Is it a criminal kind of thing that's going on with her finances? Not necessarily. I just think it was like a fumbly kind of thing. Could even be somebody who's doing her investments. They're just not making enough money for her. So she'll part ways with somebody. And I think it's going to be a long time person. How she ends the year spiritually. Knight of Swords. Spiritually, I think she puts a little bit of a block up for herself, psychically, spiritually. I think she puts a block up and she goes, you know what? I gotta be as logical as possible. I have to just do the things, you know, do all the things now. Like I've got to be the alpha and the omega. I've got to be the CEO and the vice president and the salesperson. I think she's really stepping away from her spirituality in order to correct course on her practical life here. So how about relationship wise? Four of Cups, you know, she's just coming to terms with the fact that relationships do not always work for her. I don't think that she is looking inward at herself. I think that she still looks at her experiences in relationships as a lot of responsibility on the other party. I think she does look at that. Why won't they love me the right way? Why won't they take the directive from me? And so perhaps she does need to work on the way that she explains and expresses how she needs to be loved, what she needs in a partner. Three of Wands, still crafting those ideas, still working on the connections. Her biggest connection is with work. She loves to work. She loves to dance. She loves to work out. She loves to sing. She loves to do all those things. So do it. Don't find something else. Those of us that are musicians and singers out there, there is something quite spiritual and magical when you are playing or singing or doing. When you hit that note right, when you harmonize with another voice, there is something magical that takes place. And you get all these feels. You guys know it. Samantha, I know you feel it when you hear Emma Cox sing Voila. I don't know a single person that doesn't cry when they hear Emma Cox sing Voila. It is an amazing performance. There is something magical that happens. A lot of people experience it when they hear opera or classical music, but it happens in other genres as well. It happens in country western. Jolene is a great song. Great Dolly Parton, the great lady of country music. J-Lo, lean into your art. Lean into your art. Figure out where your art is going to go. Your art and your work are your best friends. They are your partners for right now. And that is where you find fulfillment. That is where you find your guiding star. That's where you find where you're supposed to be. Final advice. We're going to do one card for her 2026. And guys, start dropping your questions if you have questions about J-Lo. I've got one in the chat. Sylvia's Daughter, I love Comfortably Numb. That is one of the best guitar solos of all time. And David Gilmour is on my hall pass list. So one card, final advice for J-Lo for 2026. 7 of Wands. Wow. This, for somebody like her that is so disciplined and structured, the 7 of Wands in reverse is a wild card, because this tells her to get out of her comfort zone with control, to not control everything around her. Embrace what the universe throws at you, the variables they give you, because those variables have us stretch our legs. So when people are in training, if they're weightlifting, if they're doing CrossFit or anything like that, you have to mix up the exercises, because it stresses different muscles. It stresses different skill sets in that exercise regimen. For J-Lo, energetically, she needs to stress some muscles in her spirituality and her pivoting energetically. So getting uncomfortable is really important for her this year in terms of structure. So if she is OCD, very organized person, she's got to let the edges fray a little bit. And that is going to help her grow spiritually. What can she expect? There is the 5 of Wands in reverse. That is chaos and creative strategization from that chaos. 7s are chaotic, but it is about creating a new strategy. The 5s are extra chaotic. The universe wants her to get in the snow globe, and they're going to shake it up and let her feel the feels on that. So roller coaster ride for you 2026, Miss J-Lo. And before I start taking your questions, I just want to do what is her numerology year for 2026? Let's just see what that is. I just want to see what that is. Sylvia's Daughter, I got your questions. So her birthday is July 24th. She is a Leo. Her personal base number is 4. Her the universal year for everyone is 1. Ba, 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 ba. Her personal year is a 5, which is major change and reinvention. It's one of the biggest shakeup years in numerology. So the snow globe thing is absolutely correct. This is her year to break patterns, reinvent her identity, change relationships and the way she acts in relationships, change career management. We talked about that earlier, creative direction, relocate, change addresses, and rebrand. So freedom in relationship. It's not a year for her to settle. She should date lightly, experiment, redefine what love looks like, avoid long-term commitments. That resonated with my reading. Travel and movement, we talked about over the summer. A 5-year brings big travel, tours, international deals, filming abroad, retreats, spiritual travel, major moves, maybe Vegas. So a lot of travel. We talked about that over the summer too. Financial, it's high risk, high reward. 5 is expansion and unpredictability. She can take some big creative risks. I talked about that with the softer role that she's going to participate in. She may launch new ventures, maybe fashion, beauty, production, maybe those things. She'll see spikes in incomes, but followed by dips. She should rework contracts and change her management. It's a good year to change management. Career breakthroughs can be expected in a year 5. It's typically like a renaissance year 5. So she may be able to reclaim her public narrative, shift her brand, surprise audiences, or step into a new creative identity. Pretty cool. So that is kind of neat. Let me go up here and we are going to do some random questions from you guys. So let's start out with Star has 1. Will she be affected by the Diddy thing? Diddy's going to be out of jail. Diddy is going to be out of jail. Is she going to be affected by the Diddy thing? 6 of Cups. Guys, are they going to get back together? All right, so I don't think that they're going to get back together, but I do think that they're going to bump together a little bit. I don't think they're going to hook up, but I think that they are going to have a talk. Let's put it that way. They're going to have a talk. 4 of Pentacles, she may loan him money. There may be an exchange. There may be a loan that goes out with Diddy. I don't know. I know he moved a lot of money over to his family while he was waiting for sentencing. That's gonna be interesting. I think that there may be some interesting stuff there. So, how about that? Let's just look at Ben. Are we going to see what kind of energy can we get from Ben real quick? Judgment in reverse. 6 of Wands. We're going to see Ben and Knight of Cups. Ben is throwing me some John Cusack energy. Like, the smoking where like he's like Ben Affleck. John Cusack self-describes himself as like a miserable Irish alcoholic, like he never called himself an alcoholic, but I think he is a bit of a booze hound. I was a big fan of John Cusack, but I don't want to hear about his politics. But I think that Ben Affleck is getting very comfortable with not being connected to anybody. He's kind of good. He just wants to be there for his kids and his ex-wife. He's not gonna entertain any more relationships. All right, there we go. We got that. So let me grab another question from the chat. Guys, keep them coming. I only have a few here. So why did Ben come back And why did he leave her again? Why did he come back? They were both available. They were both available. Maybe we can make it work this time. Maybe this is a good thing for both of us. Maybe we can do it. He left because everything was the same. Everything was the same. And this isn't a shot on J-Lo, but he realized like she is not a nurturer. She's not going to nurture him. She may nurture her kids, but not a nurturer for her spouse. Last card. 3 of Wands. I do think that the blended families were a little complicated. I don't think J-Lo likes to have a lot of other women around. And I don't think it's kids, but I think the ghost of Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner is so cute. Like she's just adorable. So, I think that was tough. I think it's hard to be with someone. I think J-Lo, it's hard to be with someone who doesn't have anything bad to say about their spouse, their former spouse. I think that's it. I don't want to bag on her too much. I think, that's an enemy. That's an ex-law. I say that all the time. That's an ex-law. So let's see this. So Sylvia's daughter, I've actually answered this question before. I think she practiced Santeria. I don't know if she's got a crystal ball. I think she's got a million projects and spells, and she does them all. So yeah, I do think that there's a little bit of Santeria that goes on there. I have a friend who practiced Santeria. I do have a friend that did it. It is not a spiritual course that appeals to me. It is not for my own personal reasons. I don't want to go into too much of it, but I do think that she tinkers with some of this stuff. I actually think she's far more proficient. I think she's got somebody that does it for her, somebody who she hires and does it for her. Sometimes people go on Etsy and they just order up a spell, and sometimes people call their people. And I think that this is something. I'm not gonna judge on that. I'm the hardest working psychic on the internet. So, yeah. Sylvia's daughter. Yeah, I know. Violet's got some ideas. She's got some ideas. So, but that it is what it is. It is what it is. Elaine, yeah, I think Jennifer Gardner was his Gardner. I always throw a D in there. I do think that I think Ben was her true love. I don't know if she was his. I just don't know. So those of you that didn't see the doco, J-Lo, when she was working on the album, presented to the people that were working on it an album that Ben had made that was all the love letters that they wrote to each other. It was kind of a scrapbook, and you can see he was like, you're letting people read this? Like it really was kind of traumatic. Was he hurt by that? I think yes. Queen of Wands, I think he was actually angry about it. I do think it was, and I think he was very vocal about it. And I think that she had divulged personal information about them to other people, and that this exposure, this professional exposure, using it to fuel the creativity of others, I think was a bridge too far. I think he said, "You've done this before. I can't believe you did it again." It was one of the big moments for him that he decided to leave. So was he on his way out in that documentary? Yeah, he was done. He was done in that documentary. So that's a shame. That's a shame. Real quick, we'll jump over to Violet. Is Violet traumatized? Now, I'm going to add a little bit. Was she traumatized by the pandemic? Yeah, she felt that our governments were responsible for that. Is this her? She really believes in the whole masking thing. She really believes in it. She thinks we live in a very dirty world, and this is one way that we can protect people. So she's young. I'm just going to say she's really young. I think the same age as my daughter. So I'm going to give her a pass. Ian, I see your question there. I got your question, Sylvia's daughter. You guys are doing great. Thank you for the questions. I'm going to close them up in a minute. Actually, I'm going to close them right now. Questions are now closed. There we go. Questions are closed. So, but don't worry, guys. We're going to do this again tomorrow. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Did Ben cheat with Blake Lively? Did Ben Affleck cheat with Blake Lively? That is a yes. What was he thinking? He wasn't. I'm going to say this. This is my personal opinion, my personal psychic opinion. I think that he thought Blake Lively was beneath him in terms of the pecking order of Hollywood. And I think he really thought she was just like a starlet. He could hit it and quit it. No big deal. And I think that it kind of repeated on him. Like when we eat too much garlic. And I think that he had to say, no. I don't want to get involved in this. I don't want to get involved in your marriage. I don't want to get involved in anything. What was Blake's intention? She was just hitting it and quitting it. What was his intention? Getting some strange. Sorry, guys. Getting some strange. So, yeah, I do think that this is my own psychic opinion. I do think that there was a dalliance in the mix. But we're going to jump right over to, did he do that? Did Ben cheat on J-Lo? This is a yes, right? Yeah. Couldn't get out of it. But he wasn't happy. He was looking for someone to mother and smother him in that moment. And Blake Lively was a nearby willing participant. So how about that? So I'm wrapping it up. Don't worry, Elaine. We are almost to the end. Have a great rest of your day, my dear. And I think will J-Lo get a streaming deal? Will she get a streaming deal? Star, I think he's a comfort addict. I think that closeness of interaction, for lack of a better word, I think that closeness feels very safe and comfortable to him. Will she get a streaming deal in 2026? No. But I do think she's trying to get one. Matt Damon. So this is a fun fact, guys. One of my friends is a bartender in New York. She's also psychic. I worked in the insurance industry with her. And Matt Damon came into one of her bars and hit on her and asked her out. And she said no, because she thought he was just gonna, play with her and then break her heart. And she is so upset because Matt Damon's wife now was a bartender. He met her like that. So she's like, dang it, I could have been Mrs. Damon. All right. So does Matt Damon dislike J-Lo? Famously, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were best friends. They've known each other for a long time, but I think they're a little distant now. So does Matt Damon dislike J-Lo? Wheel of Fortune. He thinks that she's a good tool. She's a good tool. But he knows her type and he hides his feelings. He's glad that they broke up. He is glad that they broke up. So there we go, kids. There we go. All right. So I don't have any more questions on my thing. Do I? I do not. So fantastic. We survived another live. So guys, what do you think? Ask me anything at this moment. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. How are we doing? I'm super stoked that I got 80% on my predictions from 87% on my predictions from last year. Are you guys surprised at that? I'm surprised. I mean, I think accountability is a great thing. I am really, really, I chuffed to pieces that it came in quite that high. I didn't expect it to be that high. So very, very exciting. At the end of all of my reviews of my 2025 readings, I am going to give myself like an overall average. So my report card, I will make a report card for myself. Sylvia, questions are closed, honey. I will, that's the cop from, where do you call it? Right. Oh, Dave, is it now? So I will make sure that I schedule a readings for you guys. It'll probably be Saturday, probably early Saturday morning, getting busy. I'm trying to keep my evenings clear for private readings with you guys. Like I said, the Hypsee app is doing amazing things for me. And I am going to drop that link for you guys once again. There you go. That is the link for Hypsee. If you guys want to go over there, it is instant readings. The way that I kind of understand it, it is, about J-Lo, Sylvia. Sorry about that. Or about my channel. Sorry that I wasn't clear. But I will set up readings for you guys. This is a new format that I'm really trying to flex as much as possible. So after this, I will be live on Hypsee. If you guys want live instant readings, it is for the live instant readings. It's a per the minute. So, you just get charged per the minute. It's not a big output. So you can stay on for 5 minutes. You can stay on for 2 hours, whatever you want to do. It is super, super fun and it's doing great so far. I didn't turn it on during this live because I figured we already had the questions at hand and I wanted to take the live questions from you guys about J-Lo specifically. I didn't want people asking all kinds of crazy questions all over the place. So it's all right. We hit the 1 hour mark. I'm trying to keep these lives to 1 hour so we don't beat the topic to death, but I'm going to split and I'm going to turn on that Hypsee app and see you guys in the future. I appreciate all of you being here. I want to thank the mods for modding all over the place. Ian just asked what time tomorrow. I will try and stick to this schedule. So I think we went live at 11:30. I think the production went up at 11:30 and then we were live at about, 12:30 we went live here. So what is that? Like 12 o'clock, the premiere dropped. So the short, I'll let you know in the short. I'm doing the short before before you even do the video. So trying to get up as early as possible, guys. This is kind of working out for me. I hope it's working out for you all. And with that, I want to thank the mods again. Let's do a little applause for those unsung heroes. Sometimes they are unsung. For doing what you do so well. I really, really appreciate. Stated this time. Okay, perfect. Dave, I love it. We can do that. All right, kids, I am going to jump off and I will see you guys in the future. I'll see you tomorrow, just about the same time, same bat station, same bat channel. And I'll see you in the future. Bye.